Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt McCoy. Thanks for being with us. It's been 10 years since 21-year-old Treavor Jones was shot and killed while jogging in Alberta City. An update on the case and how the family is holding up in tonight's top story. According to officials, Jones was jogging when someone shot him while driving by. He was later found on the side of the road. Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Captain Lloyd Baker says it doesn't look like Jones was a target, and police believe he was not being followed. Today, WVUA's Sarah Chavnik sat down with Jones's mother to see how the family is holding up 10 years later.
It's been 10 years since Deborah and Mike Jones lost their 21-year-old son Treavor in a tragic drive-by shooting.
At the beginning, it was real hard because when you took family pictures, you only had 5 instead of 6, and around the supper table, you was always missing somebody in the chair, and his bed was always empty. So those things were a hard thing for me to deal with at the beginning.
Over the past decade, Jones says there are many things that she wishes her son had been able to see, like the progress of his older brother Bo, who has special needs, or his twin brother Dusty's wedding.
That was hard because Treavor was supposed to be his best man.
The Jones family feels as if Trevor's good faith still looks down upon them, saying that his spirit is kind and giving.
Treavor was just very outgoing, made friends with everybody. He was always helping somebody. If they had a flat tire, he'd stop and help them. Or, even in the pouring rain, he'd pull over and help them put a tire on for them. I've forgiven who's done it, him or her, whichever it was. I guess you have to find God's grace and just make amends with it and forgive them, or you'd never have any peace.
Jones still hopes that anybody with any information will come forward to help give her family closure and bring her son justice. In Tuscaloosa, Sarah Chavnik, WVUA News.
If you have any information about the case, call Crime Stoppers and give a confidential tip at 205-752-STOP. Continuing in tonight's Crime Watch, police need your help finding several suspects linked to crimes that happened this weekend. According to Captain Lloyd Baker with the Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Unit, one victim is in the hospital after a drive-by shooting in the west end of Tuscaloosa. Baker says Homicide received a call from DCH in Northport informing them of a shooting victim. That victim was a 16-year-old male who was walking on 33rd Avenue next to West End Park when a small dark vehicle drove up next to them and the passenger fired a shot, striking the victim in the leg. The identity of the shooter is unknown. Investigators also responded to an assault on the 1500 block of 7th Street in Northport. Officials say a group of 5 Hispanic males attacked a 24-year-old male, one hitting the victim with a stick in the head. The victim says the suspect took money from him during the assault. Investigators say the area was checked and none of the suspects were located. The Tuscaloosa Police Department responded to a rape that occurred early Friday morning on Forrest Lake Drive. According to Baker with the Homicide Unit, the victim says she was outside her home when an unknown black male held her at knife point and forced her inside her home. That's when officials say the suspect sexually assaulted the victim. Baker says the suspect took money from the victim when he left the scene. Their suspect is still unknown. A man accused of gunning down his boss on a construction site was in court Friday for the first time. Authorities believe Israel Sid shot and killed 50-year-old Thomas Dwayne Banks in broad daylight. The shooting happened last October at the construction site of the new Bibb County Board of Education building. Israel Sid was arrested on the scene. Centerville police say he shot his supervisor, Thomas Dwayne Banks, after a heated argument. Sid was in court Friday where the judge denied a motion to have the trial moved to a later date. Jury selection begins tomorrow morning. In tonight's Election Watch, in just 2 days, the city of Northport will get their chance to vote on Sunday alcohol sales referendum. According to the ballot, if the referendum passes, alcohol would be allowed to be sold from noon until 9:30 p.m. on Sunday, much like Tuscaloosa's referendum that was passed earlier this year. With today possibly being the last day of no Sunday sales, WVUA asked residents of Northport their feelings on the vote.
I don't think they should sell it on Sunday. I think that is a day for everybody to rest and be without those kind of things.
It's fine with me. I'm 62, so, if people want to drink, then they're going to drink anyway. So they might as well make money on it.
The rest of Tuscaloosa County will also get a chance to vote on the Sunday alcohol sales this Tuesday. Like Northport's referendum, if passed, the county will be able to sell alcohol from noon until 9:30 on Sundays. WVUA spoke with some residents of the county to see where they stand on the vote.
It would do good for the county. It would bring revenue in the county, and I think it's a wonderful idea.
I'm not so sure it's a good idea because this is the Bible Belt. You know, this is kind of where Sundays are sacred here, and I would probably rather it not be done on Sundays.
To find out where you will be voting, if you're a resident of Tuscaloosa County or Northport, you can visit WVUATV.com. There you can find a link to the Alabama Votes website where you can find out where your polling location is. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Residents of the city of Tuscaloosa are not allowed to participate in the vote. In just over a week and a half, Alabama's new immigration law is set to take effect, and one group is holding a meeting tomorrow night to try and drum up conversation on the issue. The meeting is set for 6:30 tomorrow night at Holt United Methodist Church. It's being put on by the North Alabama Conference of the United Methodist Church. Organizers say this event is a time for members of the community to come together to explore the law and how to respond to the law in the light of their faith.